As part of the package deal on muscle building programs I've got going, I wanted to talk to you first about Return to Prime. Now, this is a really cool program. I've got it basically targeted to men over 40, but this training really applies to anybody. It's training techniques that I've actually used since I first started training, 35 plus years ago. It targets 4 very specific aspects of muscle physiology. And these are things that as you get older, your body kind of loses capacity for. The first target that we're going to look at is microcirculation. And these are the small blood vessels that basically feed your muscles, your muscle fibers, and take waste out of the muscles. So as we get older, and if you're starting off as a hardgainer, this is also stuff you're dealing with. Essentially, these capillaries or capillaries, however you want to pronounce it, your body starts to prune them back. There are specific training methods and supplements that we can use to rebuild those pathways called angiogenesis. So what this does is it rebuilds your circulation to your muscles, which helps you better get food, get better oxygen, and allow you to get waste products out of the muscles more efficiently. This really just on its own allows you to better support muscle mass and muscle mass at the same time as muscle growth. So phase 2 is going to be connective tissue training. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you might have seen me doing really heavy lockouts and supports with upwards of 800, 900, even more than 1,000 pounds at times. What this does is it supports your connective tissue strength. This is especially true as you get older. I started doing connective tissue training back when I was like 19 years old, and I've been doing it ever since. And I think, for me personally, it's one of the reasons that I very rarely, if ever, get injured when I'm doing all this crazy stuff that I do, because my connective tissue is so strong, and I also maintain it by doing these heavy supports. So essentially, when you're doing lighter stuff, your connective tissue does not get compressed enough to push circulation through the connective tissue. It has notoriously poor circulation. You need to do something kind of more drastic in order to force the issue and get that circulation pushed through. So by doing, for example, these heavy supports, I'm actually compressing that connective tissue, squeezing fluid out, and then I'm doing decompression after that to suck that fluid in. So we're creating hydraulic circulation in the connective tissue. That's what phase 2 of this program is all about. So you're doing microcirculation, you're going to connective tissue. Step 3 is a really cool one. Not a lot of direct evidence for it in humans yet. This is hyperplasia. As we get older, and as if you were a hardgainer, you'll know this for a fact, you have fewer muscle fibers. You start to lose them once you hit 40 unless you use them. So especially the type 2 fast twitch fibers, the ones with the most growth potential, if you don't specifically work them, you will definitely lose them because your body wants to prune back on energy consumption, and that's one of the fastest ways to do it is to remove the number of muscle fibers you're carrying. This particular training is actually designed to elicit hyperplasia, which is to increase the number of muscle fibers we've got. Basically split fibers, get more muscle fibers. So if you're a hardgainer and you're starting with less, this is very applicable to you. If you're getting older and you're losing those fibers, this is going to help you build them back. Like I said, no real direct evidence for it, but there is indirect evidence for it. Now, phase 4 is nervous system activation and efficiency. So we can't build back nerves as we get older. We do lose nervous system capacity and we lose nerves. What we can do, however, is similar to bodyweight athletes like Olympic lifters, for example, who need to get stronger within a weight class. So this type of training is all about using what you've got to the greatest efficiency possible. And I've got a bunch of training techniques here that can build strength very rapidly and targets essentially how well you use the muscle fibers that you've got. And if we're just getting done building more muscle fibers, we're working to incorporate those into your movement patterns and help build overall strength. So you put all 4 of those things together and you've got a complete program that targets the underlying physiology of muscle growth and supporting muscle mass as you get older. So that's Return to Prime and a summary of what it's all about. Now, this is one of the 4 books that I've got in my muscle building program package deal. $25. Go check that out at thebestexercises.com.